So for today's screencast, we're completing the primary source activity called Jefferson's Inaugural Address. An inaugural address is the first speech that the president makes once he is elected. So these were some of Jefferson's first words as our president. So what you should have already done is you should have already read the two worksheets or listened to the videos about them. I will post that in a moment. Went through the intro one last time, make sure you have it. You should have read the information about Thomas Jefferson's inauguration, and now we're going to go through the primary source activity together. Don't be intimidated by the amount of words here. His speech was kind of long, but I have chunked it up so we don't have as much to worry about. Please examine the following portions of Thomas Jefferson's inaugural address. The definitions for unfamiliar terms are provided in parentheses. Remember, take your time and think before submitting. I do not want to see that you spent 10 minutes on this. That's not using your time wisely, and it's not going to get you a good score. Context to the inaugural address. Thomas Jefferson was the first president to be inaugurated in Washington, D.C. He gave his address on March 4th, 1801, in the Senate chamber. It was the only part of the Capitol that was completed. The following excerpt is from that speech. Jefferson had opposed the Federalists for years. In this speech, he spoke about uniting the members of different parties. Let us then, fellow citizens, unite with one heart and one mind. Let us restore to social intercourse, communication with each other, that harmony, agreement, and affection without which liberty and even life itself are but dreary, dull, or lifeless things. And let us reflect that, having banished or sent away from our land that religious intolerance or unwillingness to accept views, under which mankind so long bled and suffered, we have yet gained little if we countenance, or accept as possible, a political intolerance, which is an unwillingness to accept views, as despotic or tyrannical, as wicked, and capable of bitter and bloody persecutions. Persecution means hostility. Every difference of opinion is not a difference of principle. We have called by different names brethren or brothers of the same principle. We are all Republicans, we are all Federalists. If there be any among us who would wish to dissolve or dismiss this union, or to change its Republican form, let them stand undisturbed or not changed, as monuments of the safety with which error of opinion may be tolerated where reason is left free to combat it. I know indeed that some honest men fear that a Republican government cannot be strong, that this government is not strong enough. I believe this, on the contrary, the strongest government on earth. I believe it is the only one where every man, at the call of the law, would fly to the standard of the law, and would meet invasions, or taking over, attacking, of the public order as his own personal concern. So, the question that we need to consider here is, why does Jefferson urge people to tolerate those who want to change the government? Answer this question using complete sentences. So look back on our writing here and see what he says about people who want to change things. When you're ready, type your response using complete sentences and hit that next button. Here's our second question, and this is on a different portion. So we know the context. You should understand what I deem or call the essential principles of our government: equal and exact justice to all men of whatever state or persuasion, set of beliefs, religious or political, peace, commerce, and honest friendship with all nations, entangling, twisted, alliances or partnerships with none. The support of the state governments in all their rights, a well-disciplined militia, our best reliance, trust in peace, and for the first moments of war, till the regulars may relieve them, economy in the public expense, that labor may be lightly burdened, a heavy load, the honest payment of our debts, and sacred, holy preservation, maintaining an original state of the public faith, encouragement of agriculture, and of commerce as its handmaid, or helper, the diffusion or spreading of information, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, and freedom of person under the protection of habeas corpus, which is a piece of law talking about arrest, and trial by juries, impartially, without a favorite, selected. So here I need to know how Jefferson described his approach to foreign policy. So take a look at what we've got here, and please express in one sentence or more what he thought about foreign policy. For our last question, I have the exact same portion of this reading. I will read it one more time. You should understand what I deem or call the essential principles of our government. Equal and exact justice to all men of whatever state or persuasion, set of beliefs, religious or political, peace, commerce, and honest friendship with all nations, entangling, twisted, alliances or partnerships with none, the support of state governments in all their rights, and a well-disciplined militia, our best reliance or trust, in peace, and for the first moments of war, till regulars may relieve them. Economy in the public expense, that labor may be lightly burdened, a heavy load. The honest payment of our debts and sacred or holy preservation, maintaining in an original state of the public faith. Encouragement of agriculture, and of commerce as its handmaid or helper. The diffusion of information, freedom of religion, freedom of the press, and freedom of person under the protection of the habeas corpus, which is a piece of law talking about arrests, and trial by juries impartially, without a favorite or bias, selected. So now I need to know how Jefferson believes the government should treat their citizens. And from here, what you're going to do, so now that I've read all this, what you're going to do is tell me again how Jefferson believes the public should treat their citizens. You're expressing that answer using a complete sentence to receive full credit. When you're finished typing your answer, of course in a complete sentence, hit that next button, and then hit submit all and finish. If you need help with this, please let me know today. I'd be happy to hang out with you and work you through it. Good luck!